It's no secret that anyone who watches Bluey ends up really enjoying the show.
Hey, Blue Cheese, how was school?
Good.
But did you know that this also happens because of the large number of hidden details throughout the more than 150 episodes of the series? It seems that the main characters in Bluey have a special ability to enter the dreams of their close relatives. This happens twice in the show so far. The first time we see this is in the episode Fruit Bat, where we see the little blue dog watching her dad thrash his friends in a rugby game. In fact, father and daughter even have a brief conversation during the interaction between the two dreamers. And the proof that this was indeed the dream the protagonist's father was having at that moment is that shortly before, when she comes down the stairs, we see Bandit lying on the floor holding a rugby ball and moving his legs as if he were running, indicating that he was already dreaming about his sports days before becoming a dad. The other time this happens is in the episode Sleepy Time, which is still considered one of the best episodes in the show's history. This time we see that Bluey and Bingo can not only dream together, but also play together in their own dreams. Unfortunately for the girl's dad, they were dreaming that they were bouncing on the soft surface of a planet, which was actually poor Bandit's back. These are just the first details we've picked out for you in this amazing video, so relax in your chair and join us for another episode of Cinewave. Another interesting detail that many people missed is that when we see Bluey and Mackenzie playing with boats in the episode Barky Boats, that wasn't the first time the two had played that game. That's because in the episode The Creek, we see them playing pretty much the same game, but this time with bigger and nicer boats, even with leaf sails. The coolest thing is that there are 50 episodes between these two playtimes of the friends, and, who knows, future sweethearts. Speaking of Bandit's dream, it seems that he and his friends played rugby on their street a few times, and they left a clue behind, which can be seen in the episode Double Babysitter. When Chili and her husband say goodbye to the babysitters and their daughters, if you look up at the roof of the Healer family's house, you'll notice a ball stuck up there, and to this day, we haven't discovered how it got there. This is definitely one of the biggest unsolved mysteries in Bluey.
But that's simply not possible.
In the Blue Pup show, we notice that the animators like to use vehicle license plates to make little references to the names of their owners. This happens, for example, with Frisky's car, which we see her driving when she's extremely irritated upon discovering that her future husband had plans to take her to another city. If you look closely, you'll see that the license plate on her car reads FR15K. This is a play on numbers and letters where the 1 looks like the letter I and the 5 looks like the letter S, forming the name Frisk, which is how Bluey's godmother's name is pronounced. We even see something similar happening with the license plate of Bluey's family car, where we see the numbers and letters 419 HLR. Obviously, HLR is a reference to the family's last name, Healer, and 419 is the color code number that corresponds to the main blue tone of Bluey's fur.
Yeah, she went water skiing.
Well, beat it, you old fossils!
Recently, we discovered that this license plate fun even applies to toy cars, as when Muffin visits the girl's house in the episode Pizza Girls, we can see that on her toy car, on the back license plate, are the letters MFN, which were chosen, of course, in reference to the name Muffin, which contains the 3 letters. And in honor of Bluey's cousin and her super cool toy car, today we're going to comment below with #Muffin. I'll be checking all the comments. Let's talk about Grandpa Bob. After appearing in Season 1, Bandit's dad went missing for over 100 episodes in the present timeline, only showing up in flashbacks of Bluey's dad's past. But in Radley and Frisky's wedding, we see him reappear, with Grandma Nana saying that he had been in India all this time. Even though many viewers didn't notice, the show itself had already hinted that this was where Bob was. In the episode Backpackers, we see Chili holding a travel guide with a picture of the Taj Mahal on the cover, one of the most beautiful architectural works in all of India. Then, in the episode Ghost Basket, we also see a postcard from India pinned to the family's refrigerator, indicating that it was sent by Grandpa Bob from there. This solves the big mystery. Before Bluey was officially launched in 2018, the show had 2 pilot episodes, one released in 2016 and another in 2018, and Bandit's design in these pilot episodes changed a bit compared to the version we know today. For example, we see now that the dark blue patch on Bingo's dad's head covers the entire top of his head. However, in the pilot episodes, Bandit only had a patch on one side of his head. Even though you and I might not remember this or even know about it, the animation team didn't forget. In fact, in the episode Perfect, there's a little satire by the team regarding this first version of the Healer family patriarch. We see that in one of the little blue dog's drawings, her dad has a patch on just one side of his head, just like in the pilot episode. Yet in the drawings made by Bluey on the same day, Bandit looks more like the version we all know and love, with the full patch on his head.
Bed, sleep, now.
Aww, but I'm not tired.
This also reminds me that Bandit's name originates precisely from that darker fur patch on his head, giving him the appearance of always wearing a mask. That's why his mom named him Bandit, referring to this trait of the character that resembles a criminal with a mask. Many people don't realize it, but this is a reference to the iconic Pride Rock scene from The Lion King, where Mufasa stands majestically on the rock. When Bandit goes to Bingo's school to pick up his youngest daughter, we notice that while the girl's dad is hilariously staring down Buddy, the long dog from the episode is visible near them, on top of the stand where several figures are displayed. But that's not the only reference in the scene. If you look closely at the toy basket, you'll notice that the ball in there looks very familiar. That's because it's the famous Pixar ball, which appears in every one of the 28 animated films by the world's largest computer animation studio. And since we know you're a fan of cartoons and animated films, we post a new video every day. So make sure to subscribe right now if you don't want to miss out on our next amazing videos. Speaking of Buddy, this little pug who is Bingo's classmate is definitely one of the funniest background characters in the entire series. That's because almost every time you look at him, the little pup has his finger up his nose, even in the most unexpected moments. For example, in the episode Pass the Parcel, you can spot him hidden in the back, peeking through the window of one of the play structures with his finger in his nose. Another time, in The Creek, you can see him in the playground, once again with his finger up his nose before climbing the slide where Bandit is resting. It's like that's really Buddy's happy place, just keeping his finger up his nose. In the same episode, a little later, many didn't notice since they were completely focused on the dialogue between the kids and Bluey's dad on the same slide. But if you look closely at Buddy at the top, you'll see that not only does he have his finger up his nose again, but this time he also wipes it on the slide. The funny thing is that Bandit doesn't even realize Buddy is up there waiting for him to move so he can use the slide, just like many of you probably never noticed either. And it looks like the little pug starts getting sleepy as his eyes begin to close like it's nap time. He only wakes up when the kids cheer loudly. Honestly, I think he would have accidentally slid down Bandit's back if he hadn't been woken up. Few characters in the show wear some form of clothing or accessory permanently, like Indy, who always wears her vest. Another example is Snickers, who doesn't wear clothes exactly, but he always has on a yellow cap. And if you're not from Australia, you might not realize it, but the cap he wears is a big nod to Australia because you see a map of the country on the front. Additionally, even though it has no connection to the colors of the country's flag, which are blue, red, and white, the colors of Snickers' cap represents the country, especially in its sports teams, green and yellow. These are considered the national colors because they are the shades found in the national flower, the golden wattle. In fact, in the episode Baby Race, we can see that Snickers has been wearing the cap since he was in diapers. And at one point, we hear his mom say that the accessory suits him so well that it looks like he was born with the cap on his head. And really, we've only seen him once without his cap, when he was hosting his own news show. These incredible details make Bluey so special and different from any other show I've ever watched. Since we know you had a great time and want to keep enjoying yourself, we've picked out 2 more awesome videos for you to keep having fun with us right now if you want. Go ahead and click on the one you like best. I'll see you in the next video.